Okay, this is another art journal that I started in 2014, randomly grabbing my little Strathmore 400 series and mostly doing faces. This one I did with colored pencils, and then I sprayed it, and there's different finishes. So this one came out rather shiny, which I like, but if you get too much fixative, it bubbles and smears. But this one, for some reason, came out okay. This one, again, these are the ones that I just used my extra paint that I had, put some different colors on, scraped it with a credit card and let them dry so that I would have some color in my book to start with. This was a model out of a magazine. I'm not sure if she was out of the Hair magazine, but probably. And it's just colored pencils over the acrylic. This one is colored pencils also over the acrylic, but I learned about something called citrusol that you blend your colored pencils with. And I started trying to blend them, and that's the results of that. This is another one. Somebody said she looks like she just ate a lemon, and maybe she did, but in the magazine I think she was looking up with sad, serious eyes, and I'm not sure what her thought was, but it's colored pencils over acrylic. This was colored pencils over acrylic, and I really liked it until I started trying to adjust different points, and I took all the pencil off, and her cheeks are modeled. You have to be really delicate with the finishes that you put on and how many layers that you put on. So another experiment that I learned from. This one was one of the June or September guys, 29 Faces, and it was Robin Williams when he passed away, and it was just a little tribute to him. This one, again, I liked it when I started, but I kept layering and layering, and when you try and correct something, you build up so many layers of the Prisma. They have a waxy content to them, and they're my favorite pencils, but you get different results on different surfaces. This one was Lauren Bacall when she passed away, and I found an old photograph of her online, and I tried to do a tribute to her. This one is just a magazine. It wasn't the hair styling book, but when I see somebody that has, her full makeup and her hair, and she's posing, and it's just a good reference material to sketch from. This one was a magazine picture, lots of different colors in the background, and then the colored pencil over it. And I believe the citrusol to try and to blend the colors. And this one is the same thing. She's over some kind of bright colors, and then try and put the lighter tones over the top. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. These two I was happy with until I sprayed them. And when I sprayed them, they got all bubbled up. Because, again, there's different kinds of sprays. If you spray it too close, or if you get the wrong kind, it can really make a mess. So I totally ruined them. They stuck together. I tried to pry them apart, rub off the bubbles, and repair them the best I could. So, they're not horrible, but they were much better before I sprayed them. This one, she looks like she's been eating chocolate. This had some gold paint, too, that kind of resisted the colored pencil, so it wasn't as easy to draw over, but it makes a really shiny surface. Another one, just a very light coating of acrylic in the background, and then drew over it. And what I started doing to make the eyes pop, because to me, the eyes are the soul of the person. And with colored pencils, they say not to use black. It's like a big no-no, and I've had people remark, does your mouth have that black line? Probably not, but it's art, and I think I can do whatever I want. Her nostrils are a little too dark, But I like to use a black pen to go around the eyes, give them some eyelashes, put the pupil in, and do any dark shading that I want to do. And again, I started doing that with this. Acrylic in the back, black paint for the eyes and the nostrils. It came out kind of splotchy. There's places, and you try and correct them. This one I had a darker surface and wanted to do a light sketch. And I think I drew her and then she just faded into the background. So I added more colored pencil to try and pop her out a little bit. This one, the same thing. The background was too dark. I did a pen sketch, just a ballpoint pen, and then tried to fill it in with colored pencils. And it was too hard to see the face, so I'm pretty sure I used acrylic paint over the shirt and the face, and then tried to go back with some colored pencils and bring her back. This one is a profile, and it's an odd profile. Oh, wait, let me go back here. Sometimes I flip. Okay, this one was out of a magazine. It just had the animal print fur around her head, and I thought it was cool. This one is another. I was trying to do the pen sketches so that you don't erase, you try and loosen up a little bit so that whatever lines go down, that's what goes down. This one was also just the pen sketch, and then try and go back and add color. To me, it's very rough, but it's a quick way to get something put down. This one was a profile picture, and I have a really, really hard time with profiles. Again, the paint, for some reason, the pencils didn't want to stick to this, and then I sprayed it, and it causes some bumpy textures. Again, I tried to be light with it, just add a little bit of color to her lips and eyes and hair, and sprayed her. This one was a fashion magazine, and she looked very fashionable. Light background, which I think looks better for a portrait. I did this when we were on a trip, and I only had some colored pencils in my book, so and my black pen. And this is another one that I did then. It's just a picture out of a magazine, not a model, and not a hair designed model. Another one, she was wet out of the shower or out of the pool. I'm not sure what the deal was, but she had her curly wet hair hanging down the side, and I thought I'd like to try and draw that. And then this one was in an unusual pose. I liked the pose, and I liked her face, so I attempted to do that. And I like the softness of it. It was just the brown, and then I added a little touch of color to her eyes. This one had beautiful wild hair, and that's why, the models that do these are obviously not your average looking face. So they're much more fun to just, and somebody said, do you draw the same person all the time? And I don't. Each face is a different model, but they all do look very similar because they have whatever is aesthetically beautiful to whoever picks models. They have the full lips, the beautiful eyes, the nose, and then her hair was styled. So it was a fun one to draw. This one was not a model. She was in, I believe, TV Guide. I don't even know who it was. It may be an actress, it may not, but oftentimes there's a lot of pictures in TV Guide, and I'll be sitting there because I sketch at night while I'm sitting watching TV, or sometimes riding my bicycle. Well, I don't sketch when I'm riding my bicycle, but after I ride my bicycle, I'll sit down, I'll pick up a journal, and I'll just pick up whatever's handy. That's why I've got stacks and stacks of magazines on my table. This is another one of the, I keep saying June, guys. Maybe we did that in June, but no, it's September. one of the faces in September. And here's another one that every time I see it, it cracks me up because she's got this big head and she's got this cool hair and then this little tiny hand just holding her up. And I thought, my perspective is very off, but I can see that now, and hopefully next time I'll try and put a little more effort into, because it's really hard to go back and redo, and that's not the purpose of a sketchbook or a journal. It's to have fun while you're doing it and go from there. Here's another one of, it's just pen and ink, and that may have tried to be a self-portrait. I believe that's what it was, but I didn't put in all the chins and all the wrinkles and all the gray hair. It's just squiggly pen lines. In sketchbook school, there's so many beautiful artists, and a lot of them, that's what they do. They just grab a pen and they can squiggle their way into perfection. And it's obviously a learning curve that would take a lot of practice. And I've only done a few, and I'm not good at it, so I haven't practiced more, and that's probably the opposite of what I need to do. This one is another soft, this has no color on the background, I'm pretty sure. It just colored pencils, and I tried to keep it light because I think I do better when I don't put in all those heavy textures and colors. Oh, but then we get wild, and these are self-portraits for, I believe, the Gather, Collect, Create. We were using charcoals and pens and just, shadows and whatever. It's really, really painful to do a self-portrait when you're in your late 60s and you have gray hair and your eyes are all weak, but this is what is fun to practice, because all artists, especially back the old masters, did a lot of self-portraits because it's much cheaper than paying for a model. Nowadays we can use magazines to just pick up a picture, but a lot of people think a live model is better because you can see the contours and the lighting. This is another self-portrait, and I added paint to this one. This one is just colored pencils, I believe, and maybe chalks, but I think just colored pencils. This one started out colored pencils and ended up with paint over it to try and unscare it, but my eye looks like it's crossed, and but in reality that's probably what my eyes look like. Here's another, practicing that pen work, just using a ballpoint pen and sketching, and then I can't leave things alone. I can't just, so I added the color later, and kind of, to me it brought it to life a little bit more. Still need a lot of practice in doing that. Then back to the old tried and true, I like to just grab a book and draw the face. So this was colored pencils on a light, rather fleshy colored background, so she blends in, and you don't have to do a lot of blending that way because the flesh color kind of shows through. These are just pencil sketches, this one looks like graphite to me, this one just looks like colored pencil, so I just lightly sketch out my features and then color them in and try and shade them with the different colors. Again, I tried to be really, really light with this one, leave most of the face color white. This one has no painted background. This one you can see, no, this isn't painted, this is colored pencil to give it the texture. The same with this one. These were white pages without the paint underneath, just to see the difference. This one is a pen sketch, and then I tried watercolor over it. And then just went to town on the background, splattering and circling and, giving it a little texture. Again, another ink and pen drawing, because I've seen so many beautiful things, but you can't, once you put that pen down and start drawing, you can't take it away. So you can't go back and correct things that you see that are wrong, but you can try and get a lot of contour in the face, and that's